boo. Can't forget how I met you. You thought I was the boxer, Prince not seen, but I'm the mobster. Nas from Queens, and when I got you riding with me. You keep asking, when do you have time for me? I'm never free, always on the move, business oriented, lifestyle expensive, attract women.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we're taking a look at one that came out of nowhere and really surprised me. This one is from a house called Nest, and my first, it's called Wasabi Pear. My first experience with this house was at a store called Mercury, which is a chain store, at least in New York City, that sells beauty supplies, but also has a fairly different niche lineup. I know they carry Diptyque, Creed, L'Artisan Parfumé, Acqua di Parma, Fresh, and a few other houses. And I was in there around Christmas, was looking for a reed diffuser, and I found a gorgeous Christmas edition one from Nest. I think it was, I want to say $42, and I picked it up. I really enjoyed it. People would come into my bedroom and just say how good it smelled, and so I just always had this house in the back of my head. One day I was in TJ Maxx browsing, and I saw this fragrance called Wasabi Pear from Nest for $13, and I bought it. I blind bought it. And before we talk about it, let's talk a little bit about Nest. Nest really goes back to 2005. A woman named Laura Slatkin had a home fragrance brand that they sold called Slatkin & Co. And they sold that company to another company called Limited Brands. That same year, they actually began working with a few master perfumers on a new line of home fragrances. And they also started doing work for other big brands out there who did homeware like Tory Burch and Jonathan Adler, Calvin Klein, Ralph Lauren, and then finally they were just inspired to do their own line, which became Nest. Their first collection debuted in 2008. It was a line of luxury candles and a holiday collection, and it was sold at Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf Goodman, and some other high-end stores. Since then, after winning awards for their work, they ventured into reed diffusers, liquid soap, body wash, and fragrances. They have two fragrance collections, to my knowledge, a general line, which are EDP fragrances, and those can be found at Sephora, and then these body sprays, which I think only now can be found at like discounted online. In my case, they were at TJ Maxx. I also picked up from TJ Maxx a few more, one called Moss and Mint, one called Bamboo, and one called Grapefruit. The only one that they have that I skipped was one called Orange Blossom. But I told Carlos, Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, about it, and I think he picked up the Orange Blossom. If you are interested in me reviewing the other ones, let me know. The other one that I was interested in, called Moroccan Amber, wasn't there, so I might pick that one up online at some point. And so all of these came out in 2013. My bottle was $13. I don't know if it's EDC or EDT. It doesn't say on the bottle. And this one only has two notes listed, pear and watery notes. That's it. Online, I've seen this one retail for about $48. Your presentation is really simple. The box just says Nest Fragrances, New York Body and Soul Spray, Wasabi Pear. You have a sticker on the back, Anjou Pear and fresh ozonic watery notes are infused with the essence of wasabi. And then the bottle, I think, is really nice. It's heavy glass. It's clearly 100 ml. Sticker on the bottom. Light cap, but it definitely gets the job done, and the atomizer is pretty beastly. You get nice sort of distribution of spray. So I actually really like the presentation on this, especially for a $13 fragrance. Breakdown on this one is going to be my shortest breakdown of all time. This one is unbelievably simple. It's like a bowl of chopped up fresh pears sitting in ice water. If you sprayed yourself with that ice water, this is probably what you would smell like. End of story. Is there a little bit of green from the wasabi? Yes and no. I'd say there's definitely a little bit of green, but I don't get any wasabi at all. What I get out of this one is solely one of the most beautiful pear notes that I've ever experienced in a fragrance. It is linear, it is simple, it is fresh, and it is realistic. Performance on this one is pretty good. I would guess these are eau de toilette. This one lasts pretty nicely on me. I get about 6 hours, projects moderately, and has some decent sillage. Very, very much unisex. Anyone who likes the idea of fresh pears can wear this one. I told my friend Lauren about it, and she's like a niche head. She has, like, Perfume a little Forte and Creed, and she enjoyed, she bought it, and she likes this one as well. So definitely men and women. As far as time of year, this is a spring and summer fragrance all day. Great casual or exercise scent. For me, it really doesn't go past those uses. If you are unable to find this or want something more expensive, the two pear fragrances that I'm sort of acquainted with, one is Belle Helene by Parfum MDCI, which is a really decadent pear scent. It's got a lot more going on in it, but actually I think this one's simpler. That one is almost $400 if you buy it with the resin bust. And then the other one that I know of is Wild Pears by Montal, which is like $90 even discounted, and I think this one really can hang with that. So I wouldn't pay that money. I have my pear scent as far as I'm concerned. I reviewed Boss XY, or if it's not up yet, Boss XY review is coming, and that is sort of a designer scent with pear leaf notes, and this obliterates that. If you are at all thinking of that because you want it for pear purposes, keep going and figure out a way to get your hands on this one. If someone were trying to talk you into getting this one, I think they tell you that it's really realistic, decent presentation, and great quality for just an insane price point. I think if someone were trying to talk you out of getting this one, they might tell you that it's very simple, might not be worth the sticker price if you're not okay with just smelling like a pear. And do you really want to smell like a pear? You kind of need to have that figured out before you purchase this one. I love it. I love this collection from Nest. This one's an easy 8 out of 10 for me. Only reason I'm taking points off is because, one, I actually would have liked to have seen a real dose of wasabi or something else to contrast with the pears. Some of the other scents that I mentioned, like moss and mint and bamboo, are a bit more complex, and I really wish that Wasabi Pear would have received that same treatment. And the other point is because you cannot find it everywhere for $13, but I'd probably pay $30 to $40 to $50 for this one. As I said, it knocked Montel Wild Pears off my purchase list. And check Nest out, guys. Like, if you're in Sephora, I would check their stuff out. If you're interested in these, I would check the body sprays out. I would check their candles out, their reed diffusers. They do really high quality stuff at very good price points, so I'm really impressed with Nest. If you have any other questions on this one, guys, please feel free to reach out. Obviously, my name is Maximilian, and I must know.